So the next song on the record's called Get By. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, in a part of the section, or a section of the city called Historic Old North Knoxville. And not too far from where we live is this real rundown gas station. It's real ghetto. It's where a lot of the homeless people hang out. It's been robbed a bunch of times. You know, it's just one of those places that you don't really want to go to after the sun goes down. So I walked up there to get cigarettes one day. It's not too far from our house. It's not like we live in the ghetto, but this gas station isn't too far from our house. And I walked up there to get cigarettes one day, and when I was up there, I had several different people ask me for money and cigarettes. I watched a drug deal go down while I was standing in line in the store. It's just that kind of place. And so I got my cigarettes and I started walking back to the house. And as I was walking back to the house, I started thinking about that place and about the people that hang out there and, you know, all the times that have been robbed. And then I started thinking about, well, why do people rob places? Why do people do crummy things to quote unquote get ahead in life? And I started thinking about the clientele, the people that hang out around there. And then I thought, well, you know, people rob places because we're all trying to get ahead. We're all trying to have more than what we already have. And then I thought, well, that's been going on forever. They say Jesus Christ was crucified next to two thieves. So people have been stealing and robbing and doing crummy things to quote unquote get ahead in life forever. And I thought, well, that'd make a good premise for a song. So when I got back to the house, I picked up the guitar, and that was one that came real quick. Like, I had that song done in like 20 minutes, and there really wasn't any editing to it whatsoever. I really like the story that tells. Each verse is its own kind of story. 3 different examples of, you know, people doing messed up things to try to get ahead. The first verse is about a guy named Timmy Thomas, which is just a name I pulled out of the air. And the first line, little Timmy Thomas robbed the Kenjo on the corner with a pistol that he lifted from his buddy Bobby Warner. I threw the Kenjo in there because that's the gas station that I walked to, and I figured we might as well keep it as, you know, true to life as we can. So little Timmy Thomas robbed the Kenjo on the corner with a pistol that he lifted from his buddy Bobby Warner. And what's cool about that line is the pistol that he lifted, which means he stole the pistol that he used to rob the gas station with. He got $700 and 11 pack of cigs, and everyone in town knew exactly who had did it. So it's not like a secret that Timmy Thomas robbed this Kenjo. Everybody knew. If his mama would have been there, you know that she'd have hit him smoking stolen Marlboro Reds when the feds came to get him. So that verse, it introduces you to this character. You know that he's not too good of a person because he's robbing a gas station with a stolen pistol. He got $700 and 11 pack of cigarettes from that gas station. And even though everyone in town knew exactly who had did it, because everyone in town knew who did it, it didn't take the feds long at all to come get him. If his mom would have been at the house when they came to get him, she would have hid him from the police, which lets you know that the mom's not the best person, or maybe I shouldn't say she's not the best person. It lets you know that the mom is at least loyal to her son. So if mama would have been there, you notice she'd have hit him smoking stolen Marlboro Reds when the feds came to get him. There's one of those packs of cigarettes. And then the chorus, we're all just trying to make it. We're all just trying to get by. And that's true. We are all just trying to make it. We are all just trying to get by. If we want it, then we take it. That seems to be the words that we live by. They say they crucified Jesus with a couple of thieves. Lord, we don't know what we do. We just know what we need. I like that too. Father, please forgive us. Or what did I say? Damn it. Let's get by. If we want it, then we take it. Seem to be the words that we live by. Say they crucified Jesus with a couple of thieves. So that goes back to the original thought that I had as I was walking home. Say they crucified Jesus with a couple of thieves. Lord, we don't know what we do. We just know what we need. You know, we don't take the time to think about the consequences of our actions. All we're thinking about is the now, the present. I need this right now, and I'm going to do what it takes to get it. Then you get into the second verse, introduces you to more characters. The woman's named Teresa, so you know you're meeting a woman named Teresa, but you don't know. I never named the man in the second verse. I don't think it's Timmy Thomas. In my head, it's a completely different person. So Teresa was the finest piece of tail he'd ever seen. It blew his mind back how she got all of that in them jeans. It lets you know she's an attractive woman, at least to the character. Teresa was the finest piece of tail he'd ever seen. Blew his mind back as she got all of that in them jeans. He walked over and told her she could have his last name. She asked him what he drove. He told her a black Range Rover. So right there, it lets you know that this woman's only interested in one thing, and that's money. If her first question to him is, what do you drive? And he says a Range Rover, and then she's in. She's only in it for the money. She's looking for a way to get more than she already has, you know. Asked him what he drove, told her a black Range Rover. Same old song and dance, kicked the drummer. Yes, she thought that he was ugly, but she's looking for a come up. That line right there lets you know, hey man, it doesn't matter what the guy looks like. If he's got some money, Teresa's in for it. And that's, you know, her way of trying to get ahead in life. We're all just trying to make it. We're all just trying to get by. If we want it, then we take it. Seems to be the words that we live by. Say they crucified Jesus with a couple of thieves. Lord, we don't know what we do. We just know what we need. Then you come to the bridge of the song. So, Father, please forgive us for our lust and our greed, which is really the driving factor, I think, in most people, you know, doing these things. Father, please forgive us for our lust and our greed. But you created temptation, so how about a little empathy? You know, if the Lord is, you know, the creator of everything, he would have had to have created lust and greed. So how about you try a little understanding before you send us to the fiery depths of hell? Father, please forgive us for our lust and our greed. But you created temptation, so how about a little empathy, respectively? I mean, if you think objectively, this is kind of your fault because this is kind of your thing. That's probably one of the lyrics that I'm most proud of, how that ties into the song and everything. I just think it's kind of clever and witty, and hopefully it'll give the listeners a little bit of a chuckle. That's a lyric I'm proud of. And then, so in this song, you have Timmy Thomas, who you met in the first verse. He robbed the gas station on the corner. Next verse, you have Teresa and an unnamed male, and Teresa's just out for money. The chorus, you're asking the Lord for some sympathy and understanding, because after all, this is kind of his fault because it's kind of his thing. And then in the last verse, it changes to talking about a corporation, super mega corporation CEO, 7-figure, but doesn't give no PTO. PTO stands for paid time off. Work them all like a dog, treat them all like a slave. These motherfuckers are lucky they get minimum wages. Pay keeps getting lower. Average Joe is in fear while execs collect checks for a record year. And that's kind of, I mean, corporate America. You know, the guys at the bottom that bust their ass, you know, don't get what the guys at the top do. And that's, you know, that's just business. That's life. And, you know, I'm sure that the guys at the top look at it the same way the guys at the bottom do, that they deserve more, and that's why they take more. And, you know, that's capitalism, I guess. So that's a song I'm really proud of. I really like Get By. I think that if people really listen to it, that they too will enjoy the stories behind it. And it's a song that I'm proud of lyrically. I like that it tells 3 different stories. I think you can see all the things that I'm saying if you catch on to the lyrics. And yeah, it's one that I think people will dig if they take the time to listen.